Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing part 1 of an introduction to Heimerdinger. Alright guys, so today I thought I'd try something a little bit different. Today I'm going to do the first video in a 3-part sort of series or deck tech for Heimerdinger. I already did a deck tech and already went over a game, but in this 3-part series, I guess, I don't know, I'm going to be doing one video on Mulligans, one video on how to play the deck, and the third part on why the cards are in the deck, what cards you could remove, change with the metagame, and what cards you could even tech for the current metagame. So yeah, that is sort of the idea. So first, in this video, we're going to be talking about Mulligans. So, when it comes to Mulligans with Heimerdinger, they're actually pretty simple. You're basically always trying to get Heimerdinger in your opening hand. So, the way I play is I just usually put everything back if I don't have Heimerdinger. And that includes the protection for Heimerdinger. Even if you have Twin Disciplines in your opening hand, you're not going to keep it there and try to get Heimerdinger. You're going for Heimerdinger no matter what, because you also have Spirit's Refuge and Deny, which can protect him. Both of those cards are great. One thing I also want to mention is in the mirror matchup, you're probably actually going to keep removal for Heimerdinger, so Thermo Beam and Get Excited, especially Thermo Beam, works really well because they're going to be playing Heimerdinger on turn 5, either having Twin Disciplines or bluffing Twin Disciplines. You're going to remove it, so keeping that in either one of these in the opening hand is great against the mirror matchup. Deny is amazing against the Harrowing Noxus matchup, or any deck that's playing the Harrowing, because you basically, for 4 mana, you put them out of 9 mana, and that's their win condition, really. They're playing aggro and aggression, and then they play the Harrowing to finish you off. If you play Deny and keep Deny in your opening hand, you're basically protecting yourself from losing the game that way, and you're putting them out of a lot of mana. So it's a good exchange. So that's definitely keep in the Harrowing matchup. One thing I do a lot, and I see happening a lot, is people... I will play Heimerdinger, and then I'll bluff that I have Twin Discipline. So I'll just play Heimerdinger turn 5. And that works because I'm in a lower ranking. I'm only silver right now, so it works. But when you're higher up, it's not going to work. And here's a tip. If you ever see a Heimerdinger played on turn 5 and they have 3 spell mana, they're probably bluffing. So you can just try to remove Heimerdinger, and they won't have an answer. Which... I do a lot and happens a lot. Thermal Beam's also probably good against the aggro matchups because it gives you flexibility in what you can remove. You're never keeping Get Excited Mystic Shot, though. You might keep Shadow Assassin because it can draw you another card. If you float Spell Mana turn 1 and turn 2, then you can play that turn 3 without messing up any of your other plays. It's actually a pretty good card, especially because... it's a good blocker. It can get 2 damage in because it's elusive. And drawing the card means it actually doesn't affect your mulligan all too much, because you still have equal odds of drawing Heimerdinger. So that is a card to think about. Spirit's Refuge might also work in the aggro matchup, as well as Will Vionia. Because if they're playing Noxus and they're trying to get... play the, Basilisk Rider turn 4 and get the overwhelm and attack you. If you play Will of Ionia, it's going to go back to their hands. They have to replay it next turn, and you just put them out of 6 damage that turn. Like, that's huge. It's so much value. So we're going against an AI. We're going to pretend like this is the mirror matchup first. So mirror matchup, we're actually going to keep Thermo Beam and nothing else. And then... Yep, so we got Shadow Assassin, which is a great card. Thermo Beam, which can remove their Heimerdinger. What does he want from me? And that's basically it. So we are going to surrender. That was a pretty easy mulligan. We'll see if we can get any more difficult ones. Basically, mirror matchup's pretty simple. Whoever has Heimerdinger wins. I mean, Vi is not really a huge influence on that matchup because you both have answers for her. But whoever gets Heimerdinger gets the most value. So it's basically who can remove Heimerdinger. And you have to make sure you can protect Heimerdinger when you play him. That's definitely something to think about. Alright, so say we're going against the Braum Anivia matchup now. In this case, we're getting rid of everything. The only thing that matters in this matchup is that we get Heimerdinger out and start, creating the turrets. I will actually keep Deny, though, for Vengeance and for the Ruination. The only thing that matters in this matchup is keeping Heimerdinger alive, and so Deny is going to be a completely necessary card. Everything else is kind of just weak. They don't have very good early plays. Sure, Braum's great and all, but like we don't really worry about him if we can get turrets out. And yeah, so that's that mulligan. Oh, and if you're playing against a control matchup, Vi usually is not good to keep. She's good at taking out their small things and Anivia, but overall she just gets removed in a 5-mana play that you don't really want to protect. You want to be protecting Heimerdinger, and so that's sort of a weak play. She's really good against the aggro matchups, though, where she can remove something, and you can even protect her and level her up. And the bigger she is, the better, right? So for this final mulligan, let's say that we're going up. I don't know. Let's see. Alright, so let's say we're going up against elusive aggro. So this is a really tough one, actually. Because in a lot of cases, I would think about keeping Vi. She can remove one of their elusive dudes. She can't block on the back end, though, which is sort of weak, so I don't think we'll actually be keeping her. Thermo Beam is probably a keep in case they have the elusive units early on. Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Green Glade Duo, sorry. If they have Green Glade Duo, then we can use Thermo Beam to kill it, and that's probably the biggest thing. Shadow Assassin is probably definitely a keep. And Solitary Monk is probably not a keep. Although that may seem weird, because you can play Solitary Monk after playing Shadow Assassin and get free card draw. It actually just slows down our plays, and against a Kinko Wayfinder deck, we really can't be doing that. So we're going to keep Thermo Beam and Shadow Assassin. Alright, so we got another Shadow Assassin and get excited. So this would be a great opening hand. We can kill something turn 1. We can play Shadow Assassin. We have Spirit's Refuge for life gain. And yeah. So, I didn't go over every single matchup, obviously. But rule of thumb, try to get Heimerdinger in your opening hand. And if you're going against a super aggressive deck, try to keep like a Thermo Beam or maybe even a Mystic Shot if you're that desperate. I opened up the deck. Remember that Shadow Assassin's a great card in the aggro matchup. When it comes to control decks, keep Deny for sure. When it comes to Harrowing, keep Deny. And I know I didn't talk a lot about Vi, but Vi's best use is against a mid-range deck where you're able to make better trades than your opponent. And, while that other mid-range decks want to keep control of the board, Vi helps you keep control of the board. Obviously, this is a mid-range deck. Heimerdinger wants to be controlling the board, so when you don't have Heimerdinger, Vi is a great backup to make the game last longer so you can draw Heimerdinger. Or she can just be a win condition if you're willing to invest and protect her. When it comes to aggro, though, she's slow. She can only kill 2 things, or 1 thing a turn. 2 things every 2 turns, right? While Heimerdinger can kill multiple things, killing something and then getting that turret is really valuable. And against control matchups, she usually gets removed early on. You know, Vengeance, the Ruination can kill her, and especially against control decks, she doesn't have a lot of good targets to attack, so you really don't want to be keeping her in those matchups. In cards you never keep, like Flash of Brilliance, Mystic Shot, Claws of the Dragon, Solitary Monk, though, in Static Shock, even Deep Med. All these cards are sort of just like filler cards for the deck. They help you achieve a goal, right? Like Claws and Solitary Monk help you stay alive. Mystic Shot, same. Flash of Brilliance helps you get immediate value out of Heimerdinger, but none of those things matter when it comes to the mulligan. You really want to be trying to get the best hand possible. That's the most important thing with mulligans. You're not keeping a decent hand. Like, sure, in Magic the Gathering, you get a 7-card hand, and you don't get to put specific ones back. You just get a whole new hand. And so, in Magic, it's about a playable hand rather than the best hand. But in this game, where you get to choose what you discard, it's about getting the best hand you can. Right? Because you only have to mulligan once, you get the same number of cards in hand. It's way different than, other card games like Magic. And obviously, Hearthstone follows the same follows the same lines, the same thought process, where you're trying to get the best hand possible. And the best hand is Heimerdinger with some protection, although Heimerdinger is way more important than any of the other cards in your deck. And obviously, getting him out is the most important thing. When it comes to mulligans, you want to be getting Heimerdinger out, right? You want to get him in your opening hand. But if it comes down to it, choose to keep removal or keep creatures if you can't live until turn 5 with Heimer. Or keep deny if you know that if you don't end up getting Heimerdinger, then you're just going to lose to certain cards. And you might even lose with Heimerdinger. So, yeah, and that's why I play 2 denies. Basically every Ionia deck. Right now in the meta, it's super important. But anyway, guys, that's it for mulligans. Make sure to look out for part 2, where we talk about how the deck works and what you're going to do each turn, and what lines you should follow while playing the deck. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.